So I've decided that I am going to take an old chair that I had in my basement. It's a really big, comfy accent chair, but it's just very ugly. And I'm going to reupholster it or wrap it, whatever I figure it out. So I went to Joann's fabric store to take a look at their fabric selection and to kind of pick out something that was not too expensive, just in case this project was a total fail, and something that could maybe be under $100 for all of the supplies. So they had lots of fabric for furniture, linen, and things like that. And I just selected something that was on sale for 50% off. I initially wanted white, but then I thought about it becoming very dirty very quickly because I'll be sitting on it all the time. So I tried to get like a pink color, a blush pink, because I really wanted like a pink couch in the room. But went through most of their fabric and found one that I am not even sure if it's for flake furniture. This white one here was actually my favorite one. I was going to change my mind and use the white, but they didn't have enough fabric on that roll. So I picked a blush pink one. It's a very thick fabric. I've already tried it at home and it turned out to be really, really pretty, and it's very durable. So I picked up the fabric and then I'm selecting my trim here because I just had a feeling that I was going to kind of screw this up really bad and needed to like cover up some creases or whatever it is. So I decided to look for something nice that would go along with the pink fabric. So this is the ugly chair. I tried to wash it down a little bit with some water and a light brush. I think I kind of ruffled up some of the things on it. And later on in this video, I realized that I could have maybe like used one of those shaving things to kind of get it all off. But these are the legs. I took the legs off because I'm planning on spray painting them gold, so it could look nice overall. So this is all in my head, thinking that I can get this job done. This is the ugly chair. I cleaned it the best I could. This is the final of how it turned out. It still looks dirty. I think it's just the color. So this is the spray paint that I purchased. It's metallic gold Rust-Oleum from Home Depot. It was around $8. And then I just simply took the legs outside. I put it on this styrofoam packaging square that came with something that I ordered, and I spray painted it outside. This is the finished product. I'm not the best at spray painting because I don't really move my hand as fast as I could, but it came out pretty good. The following day I did another coat, so it actually looked shiny in person. So legs were the best thing about this whole project. So this is my idea of what I got from watching a video for inspiration. The person used staple gun and they also use hot glue. Hot glue is very strong. I've actually used hot glue on fabrics before. So what I did was, for each section of the couch, of the chair, you know, like there's the cushion, the sides, I did each section like one at a time. I didn't do it all together. I cut the fabric for each. I measured it, then I made an outline on the fabric, and then I cut it down. So basically what I started doing was, for the chair, because there's no way to actually staple it into the cushion, because it's not like there's a piece of wood in it or something for it to adhere to if you use a staple gun or if you use a nail gun. So this was the beginning of the hot mess, and I said to myself, I'm doing this for myself, so if it comes out not perfect, that's fine with me. I did good, or so I thought. So basically I measured each section, cut the fabric out, hot glued it, and in some sections, like the frame of the actual chair where there is actually wood, for those section I started by using a nail gun, which was like absolutely the most ridiculous thing ever because the nails were so tiny, and you nail it into the chair with the fabric, and then the fabric will just come right through the nail because it's like you're just making a tiny hole. So I started off with the nail gun. That was a big fail, and then I had to switch over to the staple gun. So here we have the cushion for the chair. Looks pretty decent. And then the sides, I didn't really do too much other than hot glue it because I figured that part is going to be stuffed into the corners of the arms, so it wasn't like a big thing. But you can see the imperfection with the hot glue. But this is where the trim came in. Remember I told you in the beginning that I had to get trim because I figure it's gonna look a bit wacky? It did, and the trim kind of saved this couch's appearance. So more boo-boos. I didn't stretch the fabric enough in some areas, so it created kind of like an overlap. It was very hard to pull it apart, but I eventually pulled off some of it and redid it. And one thing I did with the fabric that I forgot to mention was before I tried to cover any part of the chair, I actually ironed each section of the fabric. So at this point in my head, this is the next day because this is just tedious work. As crappy as the project came out, I did spend a lot of time on it to kind of try to make it look somewhat professional. So basically the next day is here. I'm already in too deep. There's no turning back. I literally cannot just say forget it. I'm already invested, so I gotta see it through and finish it up. So as far as using the hot glue, I only use it on the sections where I'm not able to use the staple gun because there's nothing to staple into. So like this little section right here did not have the wood in a spot for me to staple into it. So this was best to be glued down. And also I'm not going to put pressure here, so I'm not really worried about the fabric ripping out or it kind of falling apart there. My only concern was the actual cushion that I'm supposed to sit on because that was fully glued with the glue gun. But there was no way for me to staple it and I didn't want to sew. But like I said, I just continued. I already see that so many little things that I should have done, like those little rigid areas on the arm. I'm not even sure if it can show, but it was kind of like lint. When I washed it, I kind of raised up these lints, these little, looks like pimples underneath the fabric. So I saw that and I decided that I'm going to cover it up and do a second layer, but then I didn't have enough fabric. So here we are. So this was the moment I realized that this may all fall apart when I sit on it. But hey, I've invested a day and a half. Here we go. It didn't break apart. You can see that I was like, whew, I can breathe a little. It's not gonna fall apart. The fabric is not gonna just tear out and burst open. So yeah, time to add the rest of the trim and share all the details that I have to cover up. One thing I love about this chair is that it's super comfortable. I love the way it came out. I like the trim that I chose. The only part of the chair that didn't get the trim was the back because I ran out, and for now it's not showing, so it's not a big deal. But I am going to add trim on the bottom of the side to kind of give it a little bit more detail. There are some little fray edges that I need to fix, but that's it. And on the side you see that it's not so smooth, but I give myself a 7 out of 10. But I definitely can't do this for anyone. This is a personal job because as messy as it is, at least I like it by myself. And if someone comes over my house to look at the chair, they're gonna be, if they want to scrutinize it, they scrutinize it. But this was my first. It's not gonna be my last. There's other things that I want to do, but I just want to thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for my continued subscribers for showing up and watching all my videos.